Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the first official episode of Ponder on This. Joining me and N today is the number one user of Across the Pond Discord, Catherine. How you doing, Catherine?
Hey guys, thank you for having me on the podcast. I'm excited.
Okay, so tell us a bit about Catherine, where you come from, etc.
So I come from Southeast London. Bruh. I'm joking. But yeah, I'm from Southeast London, born and raised. I've always lived in Southeast London. I haven't traveled too much around outside of London. So yeah, I kind of need to do a bit more of that. But yeah, Southeast London is where I grew up, went to school, went to uni, everywhere, everything in Southeast London. Yes.
Have you not done much travelling in England?
No, I haven't. And I would really like to, because there's some beautiful places in England. It's not just abroad. England is so vast, so many lovely attractions that I love to see.
What would you like to see if you had the choice of going around England?
So I love to see like the Lake District. I've heard a lot of good things about that. I'd love to go there. I did go actually to Oxford and to the Cotswolds for my cousin's wedding, and that was really beautiful. But I don't know, it's different when you go somewhere for a specific event and then you just come home versus if you went there to just explore and go around. So yeah, I like to go to Oxford again just to explore and go around. The Lake District, I'd love to go there. I don't know, just out of London. I mean, the air's so much better out of London. It's less polluted. I'd love to just go places. I'll go and probably have a look at some places to go after this. But I didn't really. I'm not too good with my geography of England, as I'm sure Ed knows, because I recently said something on the chat. So yeah, just exploring, and I love countryside areas especially.
Yeah, I'd definitely recommend the Lake District. It's really nice. I haven't been there for years, but I went quite a bit in my late teens, to visit friends who were working there, and it was a really nice place. And as I say, you would class that as the countryside. Absolutely gorgeous. Loads of nice lakes, loads of nice cabins to stay in.
Yeah.
Get away from social media
No, definitely.
Very rural area. It was really nice.
That's lovely. And also like seaside areas and coastal areas, that would be nice to go to. I remember going to Margate as a child. I think that's the only time I've been to like the beach, a coastal area or something. But it's not far. It's not that far to go. So I don't know what I'm doing sitting in Southeast London all this time when I could be, it's not like I would be going abroad because, COVID and that.
We went to Margate for one of my friends' stag night of bachelor party for our American friends. We went there because it was featured in one of our favourite television shows, like a comedy, Only Fools and Horses. There's an episode that's set in Margate where they travel there, like a big gang of them, and they have a great time. And we thought, let's go to Margate.
Yeah.
And when we got there, we were expecting there to still be loads of amusement parks and rides and loads of places open. And when we got there, it was like something out of Russia. It was like an Eastern European block. It was just nothing there. One big massive block of flats that were derelict. There was no one living in them, and there was one pub open in the whole seaside place. And in the end, we had to get changed and get a minibus and go somewhere else. It was just a total ghost town.
Oh my gosh. Because when I went there, I was a child, and there was rides and stuff, so it must have changed a lot then.
I think it must have took a big downturn in the last 20 years, because there was nothing there at all when we went. It was, and this is say maybe 5-6 years ago.
Wow, mad.
I'd like to visit the south of England more. Obviously, I've spent the majority of my life up living and working up in northern England. There's lots of places apart from London. And a few places I've been to watch Liverpool play football matches. I haven't really spent much time in the south of England. I'd like to go to Devon and places like that and see what they're like.
Okay. So would I, to be honest. South of England, yeah.
Tell us about your school life.
Okay, so I went to school literally just it's down my road, both my primary school and my secondary school. are down my road and up my road respectively. Yeah, my primary school, I say with absolute confidence, I went to the best primary school ever. Or at least I really, really loved it. And it's like a really good primary school. Like generally a lot of people like it. It was very it was not a huge school. It's like 30 children in each year. So it was very like you could know everybody. So yeah, I felt like my class was like my family, little brothers and sisters. And yeah, I loved going to school. I loved education. I always loved education. Even now still, I love education. And yeah, primary school was for me the most fun stage of schooling. Yeah.
I'd agree with that. Obviously, for our American friends, primary school is like 7 till 11 years of age. When you go to secondary school, it's like 11 to 16, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or maybe 11 to 18 now you have to stay on. I think that's when the work starts.
Yeah. Is primary school for you ages 7 to 11? Because for me, it was 4 to 11, roughly.
See, that's where I think I went to the same school, but I think we call it infants and primary.
Oh,
so
I see. Okay.
Infants is like 4 till 7.
Oh, yes.
And then primary was 7 till 11.
Okay.
So they was the same school, but they were totally different parts. Like they were split off.
Oh, I see.
We called it infants and junior. So where do you say primary school? We called it junior school. So I went to so like you, I went there from 4 till 11. But we'd say primary school would be 7 till 11.
Okay.
That's when it's fun. I think it's fun. You're learning how to spell, but you're still doing art and you're playing sports. Exactly. You go to senior school, 11 till 16, and you're getting told you need to learn French and Spanish, and you're doing algebra
Exactly.
that you're never going to need.
For me, primary school 4 to 11, but it is split up, but it's in the same school. So for me anyway, it's in the same school building. We do call it infants and juniors. Like infants is like year reception to year 2, and then juniors is year 3 to year 6. But it's in the same building where I went to school anyway, and we just call it primary school, but it has like, I guess, infants and juniors.
Oh, so what about your secondary school? Did you like that just the same?
Oh yeah, so secondary school, no, I didn't like secondary school. Yeah, it was, I didn't like secondary school. It was quite a trying time for me personally as well. I dealt with like illness sort of as I was entering secondary school. So because of that, I think it kind of brought forth a lot of other things. And like socially, I didn't really get along well with people in secondary school. And I was a bit teased. And like, I think a lot of people have had at least a negative experience within their secondary school experience. But for me, generally, I know my favourite stage of schooling was primary school because I didn't like secondary school at all. If I could go back now as I'm more mature and whatever, maybe I could tolerate it a bit more. But I was extremely glad when we finished and finished our GCSE exams at 16. And then just finish. I was glad, and while everybody was crying they're gonna miss each other, I was like quite happy to be finished school. So yeah.
I don't know if my primary school was, every class we had was in the same room, no matter if it was English, maths, it was the same teacher. You were all your same friends, and you knew you'd been going to school with each other from 4 to 11. You knew each other inside out.
Exactly,
and then senior school, every class is in a different area. A lot of your friends from primary school have gone to different schools. Exactly. So you're like starting a whole new school with all the comfort blankets of your friends who you grew up with is gone.
Right.
And you're getting to know all new people. Yeah. The school's massive, and every class is in a different area.
Exactly.
You've got timetables. It took me a while. I went a Catholic school for 6 months. Mm-hmm. I hated that. And then I went to a local comprehensive, which was like just like a stone's throw from where I lived. I liked that one a lot more. It was a bit more laid back. Yeah,
so it was exactly the same for me. Primary school, so same teacher, same classroom for everything. And then secondary school is like, in like the first few weeks you'd be getting lost because you're trying to find where to go. and it's all different people. Because my primary school and my secondary school were so close to each other, a lot of people from my primary school actually went to my secondary school as well. So that was nice to have at least people that I knew already there at secondary school. But yeah, like all the lessons all around the building, I kind of like, I mean, it's just like the experience of like, because my secondary school, now they've built the building, but like the old school building, it's got so many memories because it's so big, and like there's just classrooms are all over the place. So yeah, a big jump from primary school. But oh my gosh, every time I see a picture taken in my old school, in the old school building, I like go down a little road of nostalgia, because like, I don't know, it's just full of memories, I guess. Not all great memories, but memories nevertheless, you know?
Yeah, I think like you said earlier, I think most people have probably got both positive and negative experiences from the high school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Tell me more about your family. How many, have you got any siblings?
Yeah, so I have 2 older brothers. One's over 10 years older than me, and one sort of closer in age to me, and a younger sister close in age to me as well.
4 of you?
Yes, yeah, 4.
You and your younger sister, are you still living at home?
Yeah, we are, and my brothers are both married now and living away.
Cool. And have you got any nephews or nieces yet?
Yeah, so my oldest brother has 2 nephews, and they are kind of at the early secondary school age, so around the age of 11, both of them. And it's really very shocking time for us at the moment, because like my oldest nephew, he's just grown so much. He's so tall, he's about the same height as me, and his voice is broken, and I'm just like, we're just trying to get with the program, but we're quite shocked to be honest. And me and my sister keep saying, wow, like look how tall he is and stuff, and like, and the not smiling stage, even though he does smile. But you know how kids get at a certain age.
I saw a picture of my nephew recently, and he's got like a full-on beard and everything, bigger than mine. And I'm like, yo, who the heck is this? And I'm like, that's my nephew now. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, they grow up so quick.
Yeah, they do. How old is he?
He's 22 now, I think. 22, 23, something like that.
Oh, so and you've been an uncle since a young age?
Yeah, I've been an uncle since the age of maybe 4 years old or something like that.
Oh wow! I wasn't.
It's like Uncle Len giving out advice when he was young. Would have been like, you want to get the Spider-Man figure?
Yeah,
giving his nephews advice on toys.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny because like I was the one that was getting all the information from my siblings, and I was trying to pass it on kid form to my nephews and nieces. Yeah, it was cool.
Aw, that's quite cute actually. You must have felt a lot of like responsibility. The older, the uncle telling all your little nephews.
I was definitely a lot more closer to my older nephews and nieces than I was to my own siblings, because they were a lot older than I am. So yeah, I felt more closer to my nephews and nieces, which is kind of strange, but
yeah.
I've actually got an aunt and an uncle who are younger than me.
Oh really?
Yeah, my granddad, when him and my grandmother split up when they had 6 kids in like the late 60s, and a couple in like the mid 70s, he'd remarried and he had 2 more kids. So they were born late 76 and 77, and I was born early 76. So I've got an auntie and an uncle who are both younger than me.
Wow, how are the dynamics?
But obviously it just feels like I'm related to them. Like, it feels more like maybe like a cousin type relationship. We just like, there's no like, obviously because they're younger, there's no like authority. It just feels like relatives, just like cousins or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so my auntie's a driving instructor, so when I was taking driving lessons, she was giving me them, and when I was telling everyone I'm getting taught by my auntie, I think everyone in the head had an old woman in mind taking me out driving. It was like,
wow.
My auntie Kate, who's like actually younger than me.
I guess it happens,
So, Kath, tell us now about the job you're doing at the moment.
Okay, so the job I'm doing at the moment is website and digital assistance for a local charity. It's quite a small charity, but like a very important sort of, almost quite connected to a local council. So it's a small charity, but sort of big reach. But so that's So web and digital assistant, I've been doing that since about September. And before that, at the same place, I was the communications officer. And that involved managing the charity's social media platforms, managing the website, and producing a regular newsletter send out to subscribers.
Okay, that's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. Well, that was in the comms role. In the current role that I'm doing, I just manage the website and offer some digital support as well. But yeah, definitely before it was a lot of responsibility. I kind of felt like I wasn't up to par for the role for a long time. But anyway, I'm not doing it anymore. But, hey.
I think you must have your job on lockdown, because to stay number one in Discord, you must have a lot of free time to you got everything sussed out. The job's easy sailing. You just go on Discord and chat to your friends.
When did I join Discord actually? I joined June, and so I was still in the comms role then. So yeah, how did I do that? I don't know. I don't know.
Got a lot of pressure to keep hold of that crown, number one.
Oh my gosh.
You enjoy your role?
Yeah, I do enjoy it, and it's quite I find it quite easy to do as well. Managing the website, guess I've kind of learned as I've gone along how to do different things. And earlier this year, actually, the website went through. I sort of was responsible for redesigning the website, so that involved a lot of work, a lot of planning, a lot of looking around the internet for different things, like a little touching on a little bit of code, but not that much code. But yeah, it was a long process. It was a frustrating process, if I'm absolutely honest. But I don't know, I'm here now. So it's a new website from what it was sort of pre-May sort of thing. But yeah, it's quite straightforward for me to do. Obviously, for those who, if somebody doesn't know how to do it, it can be more time consuming. And it's not to say that it's never time consuming, but it's easy to do, but it can take a lot of time, sort of thing. So I enjoy it.
We should be marketing our Discord and everything.
So have you been in the same sort of career background in your previous roles? Since leaving uni? So
the charity that I work at now is actually my first job since uni. So at uni I studied accounting. However, I didn't do really anything with that. So I came into the charity that I'm working at now as a research and project support assistant. And then I was supposed to just do 6 months, and then sort of they wanted to extend it another 6 months, so which I accepted. Then the comms person left, and then I was offered the role of comms, and then I guess I came to my conclusion with that role in August, and I was supposed to be leaving, but then they were like, basically they wanted me to stay and do the website, so I'm there doing the website. So kind of admin-y, comms-y, website-y stuff is what I've worked in.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What we're going to talk about now, I think will make your face light up, because every time we have quizzes about TV, films, music, you always do really well.
Do I? Okay.
So, you do. So, what were your favourite TV programmes?
Oh, childhood TV. Oh, that, yeah. But yeah, I see what you mean about how I like that. Okay, yeah. So, obviously, in the UK, we had channels like CITV, for example. And so I loved programmes like, is it Come Outside? Bodger and Badger, and Tracy Beaker. That was CBBC more. I can't remember what channel it was. But yeah, Funhouse as well.
But I think they had Funhouse in America. I don't know. Oh. It probably weren't called the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, I liked. I don't know. Can't remember if Tom and Jerry's US. Obviously, I'm sure. Anyway, the CITV. I can't remember all the programs from there, but Nickelodeon and Disney were my absolute favorite channels as I was growing up. So programs like Keenan and Kel, Sister, Kim Possible and Disney, Clarissa Explains It All, The Amanda Show on Nickelodeon, Zoe 101.
See, this is why I said that earlier. When we had the quiz,
Yeah.
the Nickelodeon quiz, you were like the quickest thing ever getting them all right.
Yeah, I loved Nickelodeon as a child. I super, super loved Nickelodeon. And Disney as well, like The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Kim Possible, as I said, The Proud Family, Recess. Oh my gosh, Recess. Recess was the show.
Oh yeah, Recess was good.
Yeah,
What was the song you sang on karaoke?
Oh, yeah, it was the Kim Possible theme tune.
Okay, I couldn't remember which one.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't think what else on Disney. I mean, Hannah Montana, obviously my musical, so High School Musical. I love High School Musical.
You was one of them people.
Yes, I am one of them people. And
This is a bit after my time, this stuff. I do. My gran used to look after my younger cousins, so they're probably more your and N's age in that age group. So like the likes of Rugrats, Clarissa,
oh yeah,
Keenan and Kel. Do you remember they'd always be on in the house? So I remember them shows. But Hannah Montana and Kim Possible, I don't know anything about these.
Okay. And as you said, Rugrats, I just thought of loads more. Well, not loads, but just like Rugrats, Wild Thornberrys, Cubics, Sonic X, even Totally Spies. Yeah. Sorry.
Doug.
Sorry?
Remember Doug?
Yeah, I remember Doug. I didn't watch it too much though, but I do remember it. I do remember. Yeah.
When I was a kid, we only had three channels.
Okay.
Three TV channels. Yeah, when I first remember TV, it was like the early 80s. We had BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV.
Okay.
And the TV used to start at there's no breakfast TV, so the TV used to come on at 9:30.
Oh, really?
And then it finished like about midnight. Obviously, I wouldn't have seen it that late, but yeah, there was no TV in the morning in the UK until about 1983. So there was nothing on any channel before 9:30 in the morning until about 1983.
Wow.
Maybe 84.
Didn't Channel 5 drop in like 1999 or something, around the 90s?
Channel 4 started in 1982 and Channel 5 started in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I remember seeing that when it actually, like, when they dropped it, I was like, I would have been 7 years old at the time, but yeah, I remember seeing it. I was like, why is there no Channel 5 before that? That was kind of strange.
Yeah, it was quite late when that came on. But I think when Channel 5 came out, there was cable TV was all over the place then, so everyone had lots of channels.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, when I first watched, when I can be like 5, 6 watching TV, there was not literally TV didn't start till 9:30 in the morning. There was nothing on before that. It was just like a black screen.
Oh wow!
You actually felt you turned the TV on. It was obviously analog TV that back then, so you'd actually hear the click of the television coming on, and then it starts at 9:30.
Did you guys watch like game shows and stuff? Like I used to love Gladiators, Crystal Maze, this kind of I think it was Japanese show, like a kind of
Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah, Takeshi's Castle. I love that.
Was amazing.
That cracked me up. But yeah.
Yeah, I should really like Gladiators.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah. And that's another one that was American as well, but it was called American Gladiators.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. So, but they used to come over and they used to have international ones, and they'd come over and compete against our Gladiators.
Oh. And Catchphrase. I loved Catchphrase.
I was watching Catchphrase with Lisa.
Oh, is he? I love it. And Family Fortunes and all that.
Yeah.
And Blind Date, which I thought was before my time. Lucky. Blind Date.
Yeah, Family Fortunes is called Family Feud.
Yeah.
And Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was good too.
Oh yes. Oh my god.
Oh, when that first came out, that was the show, wasn't it? Trying to see someone win.
It was. And I think someone won, but they committed for like they.
It was a guy that basically
coughing.
coughing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh man.
And the weakest
Oh,
link, that was massive
Do you
as
know
well.
my cousin actually went on there? You know, the week link. Yeah.
Really? The weakest
And
link.
what's her name? And what's
And Robinson.
she like, you know, she grills the contestants, and she was like asking my cousin, is she in a relationship, is she single, does she live by herself? Oh my gosh. Oh man. But the weakest, I liked the weakest link as well.
Did she win?
No, she probably went off at, like, probably was the sixth person to go off or something.
Oh, that's not bad. 6%.
That's a pretty good show,
it is.
that, isn't it? It's
I
not
watch
bad.
reruns. I just watch reruns on Challenge anytime it's on.
I watch reruns on Challenge, but I only really watch
Okay,
Bullseye.
what's Bullseye?
Bullseye was like a show, like a general knowledge show, but it was round darts.
Okay.
So you had to get points by playing darts, and then they get asked questions. It's very 80s.
I forgot Challenge.
Looks very
is a
dated
channel.
Yeah,
I
Challenge.
haven't seen the TV in so long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you own a TV, Ian?
Yeah, but it's mainly for Netflix and the PlayStation.
Okay. I feel like I spent probably the majority of my childhood watching TV. I mean, the way I'm able to list all these shows, I spent so much time watching TV, but I really loved watching TV as a child. I still watch TV, but like, if there's something on, I feel like, or if the news is just on in my front room, like one of my family members watching it, I'll watch. But like, and if there's a documentary on BBC or whatever, I might tune in. But apart from that, I might stream more things to TV, like Netflix and stuff.
Same. I think I heard one of you guys talking about what's it called,
Oh, yeah.
Mangrove. So I watched Mangrove. Watched that a couple
Okay.
of weeks ago. I think that was a good one. That was the acting, and that was
Yeah.
really good, I thought.
I haven't watched it myself, but on my family WhatsApp group, they've been talking about how there's a lot of inaccuracies to how to the portrayal of like culture and how people were at the time. But I don't take that away from the show as a show in itself and acting and stuff. I'll still watch it and stuff.
Yeah, I tend to stream more. I do watch TV, but I watch a lot of TV on my iPad because me and Lisa's taste in TV shows is quite different. Like she watches all the soaps, and sometimes I do try and get involved and watch them with her. But most of the time, if there's any football on, I'm gonna go upstairs and watch the football.
No, I do follow EastEnders quite a bit. I used to, all of us really in my house, we used to follow Coronation Street, and we kind of got into that when my grandma was staying around, and she would always watch it religiously, and so then we got into it and a lot of the storylines. But then I started watching EastEnders when okay, if you don't follow EastEnders, you won't know what I'm talking about. But when Lucy Beale, when they were going to find out who was Lucy Beale's killer, that was 2015.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think it was 2015. But that's when I started following, and I haven't watched it that much recently because I don't know. I think I'm just a bit tired of I don't know, of the storyline sometimes. But yeah,
I think most soaps, if there's a good storyline, I will tend to like get involved in it and watch it with Lisa. But then as soon as the interesting storyline finishes, I'm like, I'm out. I'm gonna go and watch football.
Last episode was when Phil Mitchell got shot. I don't remember how long ago that was.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. That was the last episode I actually remember properly watching.
Oh,
I reckon that's probably like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I never used to like watching it, and I used to hate it because like I used to stay up late and I'd want to watch like a horror movie or something, and then my brother would come home from work and he'd put on EastEnders, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to watch this crap, and it would just put me off.
How old was you wanting to watch a horror movie? If your brother was so much older, then
like maybe 10, 15 years older than me still, so like 25 to 35, something like that. I don't know.
So you was like,
so how old were you?
I would have been like, what, 15?
Okay, cool. Not like 10 wanting to watch a horror movie.
My love for horror movies, I think, started when I was about 12, I think. So, because I don't find horror movies scary. That's the I don't know if that's making me weird, but I think they're amusing. I find them funny.
I remember me and my brother going to stay in my granddad's house because he was away, and we wanted to. It was quite rough where I grew up, so because my granddad was away on holiday with me, we needed someone to look after the house in case it got broken into. So in the day, me and my brother used to go and sit in there, and we'd just watch TV and make sure no one broke in or anything. And my granddad had a massive selection of videos, and my uncle used to stay with my granddad as well, his son. And I remember me and my brother got like Nightmare on Elm Street out, and we started watching it, and that was like with the one with Freddy Krueger in it.
Yeah.
And obviously, Freddy Krueger's got the knives on his hands.
Yeah.
When it was getting to a scary bit, I went outside and told my brother I was getting us a drink, and when I come back in, I put our drinks down, and I'd also brought in four knives out of the cutlery drawer, and I put them between my fingers. And when I was getting to a really scary part, I put them in front of my brother's face.
Oh my gosh.
I got a serious ass whooping for that. I don't think I could walk for a week, because my brother, he ran straight. My granddad, this is my great granddad, by the way. So I used to see my nan my grandmother getting told off by her father. So my brother ran down to my nan's house and said what I'd just done, and my nan come up, and she absolutely spanked my ass for about 5 minutes. We'll look back, it's so funny.
That's funny.
Brother's probably traumatized for life, but it makes me laugh.
Wow. Yeah, I don't like horror movies myself. No, I can't do them.
Do you know what? It's not something. When people say I just fancy watching a horror film, I've never felt like watching a horror film. I'd always want to watch a comedy or an action film. I've never wanted to turn the lights off and watch a horror film like a lot of people do.
I love it. I turn off all my lights in the house, and I'll put it on, and I'll put it up loud. And I've done that since I was a kid, so I don't know how it even happened though, because I remember the movie Predator? We had like a special edition, like my brother's boy. Yeah, and I remember just looking at the case, and that would scare me. Like just looking at the case, I'd be scared. So I don't know how I went from there to like loving horror movies. I really don't know.
So what is your missus like then? Because is that gonna be a problem?
She loves horror movies too. No, she loves horror movies too. It's just she doesn't like having the lights off, so I'd have to keep them on. But we still watch them together. And most of the time, she'd jump up, and I'd be just cracking up at her. I'll crack it up at the screen or whatever's going on. I just find them so funny.
No, I've literally, I mean, even if it's just suspense in a movie, I was in the cinema watching the Jason Bourne films. It must have been the Bourne Ultimatum or something. Like it was like a car chase, and no, it wasn't that. Okay, spoiler alert. If anybody hasn't watched it, I think it was the bit where. Oh, have you guys watched it, by the way?
No, but it's alright. I don't think I'm gonna watch it.
It was the bit where I think that basically there was a professor in a lab, and it's like he went mad or something, and he was shooting everyone. He was coming closer and closer to where this girl was like crouched down behind a desk or something, and he was shooting people and stuff. And my friend looked over to me, and I had my hands in front of my face, and it's like she was just laughing at me, because that's just how I am. Like if something's about to happen, I'm just like, oh, I don't, I have to put something in front of my face or something, because I feel the adrenaline and the suspense, and it's like, oh, I don't know, that's just me.
I went to the cinema when I was maybe 12 or 13 years of age, and me and my friends went to watch. Have you ever seen Look Who's Talking?
No.
Look Who's Talking is about like a film, an actress called Kirstie Alley, and she has a baby, but Bruce Willis plays the premise behind the film is that Bruce Willis the voice is what the kid's saying is in like Bruce Willis, it's his voice, but he's not saying it out loud. It's like the baby's thoughts before he can speak. So like it's quite a funny film, and there's nothing scary about it. It's a comedy. But towards the end of the film, there's a scene where the baby has got away from his mum and is wandering around. I think it's New York City. And he wanders into the road, and a car nearly hits him. In the cinematography, the car comes close to the camera, and I literally jumped about 10 foot in the air in the cinema. Totally startled, like it was 3D or something. everyone sitting around me was laughing their heads off. What are you doing? I thought the car was going to hit me. I just made an absolutely show myself in the kitchen. And that has just made me feel really old that you just don't know what Look Who's Talking is. This was like a massive worldwide film in the 80s.
I've definitely heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
The first one is Bruce Willis plays the voice of the baby's fort, and then in the second film it's someone called Roseanne, like a comedian.
Is that called Look Who's Talking Now?
That's Look Who's Talking 2, and then there is another one called Look Who's Talking Now, and that's the dogs can talk. Not talk out loud. It's like the voice of the dog.
I find those kind of programs and films so I don't know. I guess as a child it was just really intriguing. The ones where like the toys can talk or the animals and stuff like that. It's just like appealed to my creative imagination. I don't know. Like I just liked them.
Yeah, I loved that. I loved that film when I was a kid. Look Who's Talking. Dr. Dolittle, the first Dr. Dolittle.
It was funny.
It was funny as well.
So how did you end up on Discord then?
Me, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was on. So I first joined. I joined Melissa's Book Club Booze, which is a Facebook group that she runs. In probably last October or November, and then I was just on there. I wasn't a patron or on Discord or anything. And then there was a Love Hour conference. And I watched that, like I tuned into as much of that as possible. And in it, I was talking in the chat, and I talked to somebody, and they said, I said I'm from the UK, and they said, oh, where are you from? I said I'm from London. They're from Brighton. And then the girl said, if I forgot that she said her name, but she said, if you come in Discord, look for Nella. Basically, Nella is the one who told me about Discord, and that, if I come, but I remembered her YouTube name. So anyway, then about probably a month later or something, or a few weeks, I just thought, you know what, let me see what's going on, because also there were some things like the Love Hour is podcast that Kev and Melissa do, and Love Hour After Dark are some of the episodes, and they were only available to Patreon members. So I thought, right, I don't want to miss out episodes, and also I want to go on Discord to speak to this person who spoke to me in the conference chat on YouTube. So then I joined Patreon and I joined Discord, and I came into Discord, and the first thing I asked was, "Hi everyone, I'm glad to be here. Has anybody seen this person, or is this person on Discord? Because I talked to you in the Love Hour conference chat and stuff." But anyway, we eventually, found each other.
I remember that message. I remember thinking, "Oh, there's another Brit in here," and then Hannah was already there. So I think me and you come in pretty much the same time. Kath and N came in maybe
probably
a couple of weeks later.
I know I didn't join until like September or something like that, November.
Was it that late?
Yeah.
I thought it was like maybe like. I thought I joined in like June, July, and you were like August.
No, I think I was like September.
Look at that.
Right. It didn't seem like I'd been in there that long when you come in.
But yeah, so I started off as a member of the Melissa's Facebook group, and then I eventually came over to being a patron and joining Discord, and now here we are.
Exactly. ATP several months later.
Look at started from look at where we started, and now we're here.
If you think about it, we started a UK page because we were talking about things only UK people would know. We thought people would be bored, and because we were talking really early in the day when no one was up. Maybe we should put this on our own page so we're not saturating Kev's Discord with loads of chat from the Brits. And now it's become a whole thing on its own.
And I remember so me and Nella and V, I mean, we like some of the ways we would say, we'd say, what are you saying, fam, bruv, this, that, in the kind of, well, I won't say it's London slang because I don't know. Obviously, Nella's not from London, so I guess just urban slang, UK slang. And they would say "Oh, you speaking in tongues" and whatever. They'll think it's some kind of church thing. But nah, it was just, But I guess, but I mean, you have to deal with so much US this, US that. But anyway, it's cool to have. It's cool. ATP is a cool place to be. Cool. ATP is a cool place to be.
Yeah, it's funny sometimes you don't even think. It's like I posted the picture of the mince pies today, and then people were like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Is that a UK thing?" I thought mince pies were like global. I didn't realise you might be just
or like European.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know what mince pies was until maybe this year.
Yeah.
At first I thought, like, I've heard of it before. I just thought it was meat in there. I was like, mince meat and stuff. I'm like, all right, cool, just a mince meat pie.
It's weird though, because they do call it mince meat.
Yeah, that's what
goes in them.
So yeah, I learned about
Imagine
that
taking a bite out of a mince pie and thinking you were gonna taste savoury.
That's what happened to me.
I know. Expecting to taste mint.
Yeah,
you'd ended up tasting like orange zest.
What the heck is this?
What's this orange zest?
That's the worst. When you bite something and you think you're going to taste one thing, you taste the other. I mean, that can mess up a piece of food for me.
Yeah, mess up the whole meal.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've just got to go with it. Like, how did somebody stumble across salted caramel?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like, how did that even happen? I had something last week. Salted caramel. Lisa gave me something and I tasted it, and there was one bite I had of it was just really sweet, and then there was just a big piece of rock salt on it, and it just changed the whole taste in my mouth. And I was like, I don't know if I like that.
They've got Twix salted caramel, and I tried it out for the first time.
Yeah,
and it's just caramel with like bits of salt in it, like legit salt, and I'm like, what the heck is this? I don't like it. Yeah, I'm not.
Do you know what?
I'm not getting it again.
Do you know what? And it could have actually been one of them, because we have had them recently, and I remember thinking that is just a Twix with a piece of rock salt.
I mean, that's not very.
It might have been a Twix.
That's quite lazy.
Strange.
If they were gonna, to call it salted caramel, at least do something else. But do you know, I actually don't like caramel. I've never liked caramel.
Well, I do like caramel.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of caramel.
It's quite sickly. So you couldn't eat a whole load of it, just like a little Twix. But I don't even get a proper Twix. We get like the Aldi rip-off versions.
Yeah. But yeah, even like talking of candies. No, I won't say candies. Like just sweet.
How dare you? We don't say candy over here.
I mean, candy, that's like, I would think more candy floss, more those, what are those sweets that say like love me, this, that on the, the ones? Yeah, that's what, if I say candy, I'd more think of that. I wouldn't think of chocolate. Yeah, exactly.
Like chalky sweets.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I definitely used to eat a lot more sweets and sweet things than I do now in childhood. But like creme eggs is what I was gonna say. Creme eggs are absolutely no. I remember
Hang on. It's cream eggs, isn't it?
Yeah, I call them cream eggs too. I don't know.
It's
creme eggs.
I've never
heard cream eggs.
Creme eggs before. Cream eggs. It's cream eggs.
Oh wow!
I thought it was cream eggs.
Yeah, it must be.
This must be like a north-south thing.
It's actually quite mad. Like even Mikey, you said house coat. You say house coat. We say dressing gown.
No, that isn't a north-south thing. That's it. Lisa calls it. If I call it a house coat, Lisa says it's a dressing gown. That splits up even people in Liverpool. People like call it either thing. I call it a house coat. Lots of people call it a dressing gown.
Mikey, I can't even. I was so shocked when the other day on the chat you said that in Liverpool you pronounce I say Adidas as Adidas, like the Americans. I was like, oh.
No, that's. Yeah. I remember going to Alton Towers when we were kids, and there was people from all over the UK there, and we got talking to people from other cities, and they were like, I like your Adidas, and we were like, what are you talking about? It's Adidas. They're called Adidas, and they were like, no, it's Adidas. And then we found out years later that Liverpool is the only city in the UK who calls them Adidas, like the Americans. It's just us against
Adidas.
I don't know what do you call them.
That's
Adidas.
so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny,
Adidas.
Mikey.
Yeah.
Nike is what you call
it,
up,
Nike
I
or
always
Nike?
called it Nike. I knew that the Americans, I knew that I'd heard sometimes Americans calling it Nike, but I always called it Nike. But then the other day, me and Hannah were talking about it in the chat, and she was saying it's Nike, like the actual the company. The way they say Nike, so it's Nike. So I thought, and she said they even say it on the phone. So I thought, wait. Let me ring them and see what they say. And they said, hello, you're speaking to Nike. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm just going to continue saying Nike because everybody will think I'm good if I say Nike. So yeah. Everybody around.
It's
yeah.
Nike. It's Nike. It's just the way it is.
But it's so funny, like the differences in like the pronunciation of words, and even especially as I guess I've learned a lot more being in the chats that we're in, like the US words that they use, differences between the US words they use for things and the UK words for things, like hood, truck, like hood, the front of a car, they say hood, we say bonnet, they say trunk for the back, we say boot. Like it's a lot of interesting things, and like bassinet, it's like Moses basket, etc. You know, it's a lot of really interesting.
Do you know which one I didn't know? And I've been going to America for like 23 years. I'd never come across the ground floor and first floor before until I seen that video of that guy. I don't think I've ever asked God in a lift and asked someone to tell. I'd always known to, like, if I was staying on the 6th floor and I'd know where to go. I didn't know there was a difference for first and ground floor. I didn't realise they called. So our ground floor.
Yeah, which is strange. I mean, unless they've got a floor below, which is the ground and like the car park as well and stuff like that. I don't know.
You're on the ground, so you're on the ground floor. They call that the first floor.
I've heard people say that before when I was in the States, but I just assumed they made a mistake. I didn't really think.
No, that's it. I've seen it. This guy.
Yeah, I saw the video as well recently. Yeah.
Oh, did you see it? Yeah. And then I'd heard another person talk about it, and I was like, I never realised that one because I don't think I'd ever got in. I've been in a lift many times in America in hotels, but I've never had to like come across that problem. And I was
exactly.
Like, it's the ground floor. Yeah. It makes sense to call it the ground floor. The first floor is one up.
Strange things, but interesting to see all the differences. I mean,
it certainly is. So, Catherine, I think we'll leave it there. It's been absolutely brilliant. Finally getting this
thank
done
you so much for having me. It's been really fun, especially reminiscing.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, you're our first guest.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
Lot,
I feel
Kath.
so honoured for you inviting me. Thank you so much.
That's the first episode of Ponder on This Done and Dusted. If you'd like to be a future guest, please let me and Ann know, and we'll try and sort out a recording. Until next time, stay safe, guys.